Sherlock's brother's um, flat, I guess. He was injured. It seemed like pretty severely in a what the police deemed to be a gas explosion. But we know it was more than a gas explosion because we found evidence um, to prove that. And paintings seem indulgent in the age of photography. The charms of Mycroft's portraits are for the most part wasted on a sensibility which cannot appreciate them. His well-colored reprint of Rembrandt's Jeremiah is hung askew. And there's a safe behind it. The Rembrandt badly conceals a built-in safe, and a classic but bit of poor design, the combination tumbler is not set flush to the wall. Each flat in the arms is equipped with an old-fashioned case-hardened single tumbler safe. All right, we already got that one. Yeah, the graphics in this one are pretty good. Unfortunately, in a way, I find that good graphics encourages excessive pixel hunting. They turn into somewhat hidden object games more than I believe games should. Mycroft protects his library with barrister-style shelves. His collection of classics compete for space with an eclectic range of abstruse monographs and first editions. His political holdings run from Machiavelli to Marx. Let's thumb through his books. Mycroft's ancient Greek classics are beautifully bound in Moroccan leather. The pages are unblemished by marginal notes. The text is based on... Oh, I can't read that. Do I have to do that for each one? No, I don't. Okay. I mean, this one I believe they got actual character actors for the people. We found a safe. Let's look at this bust. Okay, let's move it or pick it up. Let's try and pick it up. Okay, let's move it. Huh. The base of the bust is solid and covers nothing on the mantle. Fireplace. Let's look at it. The marble hearth is spotless. Watson would commend the char, not knowing that Mycroft never heats the ornamental room. On those occasions when cold conjures its frugality, he puts on a fire in the snug comfort of his bedroom. Okay. Magazine rack. Let's examine that. The neatly stacked back issues of Punch and the Tattler indicate that Mycroft's store of information about current events ends in late 1885. Okay, that. Look. The celebrated Complutensian polyglot Bible, edited in the 16th century under Cardinal Zern's critical eye, lays open in a mahogany reading stand. Although Mycroft is as devout as the next man, he consults the great book primarily to complete obscure queries in the Times crossword. Let's read it. It's printed in Hebrew, Chaldee, Greek, and Latin. Glosses commentaries are provided in this version, increasing the book's great length. Okay, let's look at. Wait. Let's browse. The delicate onion skin pages disguise the book's enormous volume. Some pages are expertly illuminated. Interesting. We got some dialogue from that. Browse is not an option. Sideboard. Vowels are purely decorative and might as well be nailed down. In the continental style, Mycroft entertains rarely and never at home. One might sooner find a ruby under one's pillow than be offered a whiskey and soda here. Let's look at the windows, I guess. The fact that these windows provide a superb vista of St. James Square would be a revelation to Mycroft. They are too far removed from his chair for him to conveniently take in the view. Okay. The diaphanous drapery disperses sunlight and minimizes damage to his library. Okay. We have a safe. We have a chair. Let's look at the chair. Creature of habit, if not an utter slave to it, Mycroft's leather-covered chair is an exact replica of the one he favored until recently at the Diogenes Club. Let's sit in it. From Mycroft's usual vantage point, one sees nothing well except the fireplace. We have a tea table. Look at that. If this rosewood tea table had ever witnessed so much as a close encounter with cutlery or cosmetibles, the news of same would shock Mycroft to his shoes. He dines out exclusively. Oh, we have a entrance to his bedroom as well. Okay. All right, let's go to his bedroom. Don't see anything in here except the safe. Okay, so here's his bedroom. For distinguished service to recent governments, Mycroft has received portraits of their principals, Disraeli and Gladstone, hang in closer proximity than those two worthies ever cared to be in life. The current PM may be a gravy stain on his cravat. Look at the chart. Mycroft's greatest passion after puzzles is numbers. This chart displays fascinating but failed attempts to disprove Fermat's last theorem and the first 100 prime numbers. Yes, this game uses very large words, some that I don't know, so I'm doing my best. At its highest setting, the lamp can illuminate the entire room. Mycroft burns refined whale oil to avoid the smoke and smell of conventional fuels. Okay. A celebrated tout for whom Mycroft performed a discreet service expressed his appreciation with this ebony thoroughbred. While not strictly a devotee of the turf, Mycroft admires the form of the English running horse. It does. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think they did a good job writing all of the dialogue and kind of kept it in the. I mean, it's almost as if, Sherlock is. It's like from Sherlock's perspective, so it's using big words, almost like as if we're thinking of this from Sherlock's perspective. The globe is one of Mycroft's prized possessions, constructed of Tolmac principles. It is a reproduction of the spherical map made by Crates of Malice. Spin it. Okay. A dispatch case. Examine that. The second key in Mycroft's ring opens his case, but locking it was pro forma. It contains nothing but an extra handkerchief. Close valet, look. Though indolent in most matters unrelated to his work, Mycroft dresses meticulously. He sets out his suit ahead of time to see if it needs special brushing or pressing. The valet is understandably naked. We have a glass. Look at that. Mycroft is too well mannered to drink directly from the jug. He keeps a crystal water glass nearby so he can slake his midnight thirsts. Fill? It's a weird thing to do. Yeah, it does. I think it fits. Now we can drink it. Let's drink it. The flavor of unadulterated tap water has not been improved by standing for several hours. Okay, I believe that. Mycroft's easy chair resembles one that stood in his godfather's study. The chair overflowed with newspapers and dozing cats, neither of which have touched this one's corduroy covering. Windows, we can look at them. Face the flats of the opposite side of the Pall Mall. The name derived from Pall Mall, a precursor of modern croquet, which is played in these environs in 16th century. Okay, portrait, chart, statuette. I don't think I looked at that yet. No, I did look at that. Desk. I haven't searched the desk. Let's search the desk. As a boy, Mycroft was fond of Poe Sleuth. The Cavalier Dupin, his own clandestine nature, however, would not allow him to conceal written secrets in what Dupin would call their most obvious and self-evident hiding place. Mycroft keeps his stockings open. No, okay, nothing. Wait, I saw something. Candlestick. Notwithstanding the heavy green felt that covers its base, the candlestick sat on a half sheet of foolscap paper. This duplicate protection of the desk may be another instance of Mycroft's exaggerated sense of caution. He is, after all, a man who wears both braces and a belt. The wax flexed of verse is otherwise unblemished. Some legible doodlings on the reverse appear to constitute a kind of puzzle. It reads BQQMZHI. All right, we found a puzzle. Ooh, we also have a dictionary. Let's look through the dictionary. Reference pages contain words for acronym, to anamnesis, and cinnamon and circle. I think we have a puzzle. I think we have a puzzle here. We don't have the actual puzzle in here, so we're going to have to write it down. We just have the dialogue between Watson. Okay. Oh, we took it with us. All right. So now it's in our inventory. Okay. Let's look at it again. Several dollops of white wax at the portion of the inexpensive scrap paper. Some legible doodlings are visible on the reverse. We have a solve button, I noticed. Solve. Oh, here we go. We can type in things. BQQMZ, HIJKLMNO, and BTU. B is used twice. M is also used twice. Those are the only two letters that are used twice. B and M. I mean, we can assume it's a substitution cipher, but I don't know if that's correct. Um, if I can find anything else. I already did this, right? A, A-N, A-N, and C-I-C-I. Okay. No, it's an actual puzzle. Um, pen. Look, taste. Okay. Look at the pen. Fine French fountain pen called the Imperial rests on the desk. If Mycroft did not consider himself undressed without his pen, one might think that this was one might think that this is the one he always carries on his person. Okay. Test. Though no ink appears to flow through the pen, the nib feels damp, as does the paper. Okay. I guess we'll taste it. The liquid has a starchy taste. Mycroft has been indulging his propensity for cryptic communication with Sympathetic inks. Rice water. Huh. It's got some sort of, maybe invisible ink? Alright. I think I've seen everything. Wait, what's this? Several dollops of white wax dot a portion of the inexpensive craft paper. Okay. Hmm. Wait. This is only 4 letters. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters in it. Oh! BTU is British thermal units. That's heat. That is heat. This is heat right here. BTU is British thermal units, I think is what it is. It's the okay. Okay, what's this one? HIJKLMNO. HIJKLMNO. It's H through O. H2O. H2O or water? Maybe. Can we tab? No, we can't tab. Well, I don't know what this is. Let's just put something. The water and heat. Okay. Water and heat. Okay, what do we do with water and heat? Oh, it's probably what we're supposed to do with this thing. So he's probably got a hidden message on this piece of paper. Okay. Oh, I see this one too. This one's just a subtract 1. APPLY. You just subtract 1 from the... So B to A, Q to P, M to L, Z to Y. Okay. Apply water and heat. Nice. Okay, good puzzle. Okay. So apply water and heat to that. Okay. Alright, let's see if Watson has anything to add. All right, we're leaving. I think we found what we needed to find. I'm curious about the safe, but I don't think we can do anything about it now. So I think we need to read the note. I think that's what we need to do. We're gonna go back to our lab and apply water and heat to the note. All right. We leave. Yeah, we can. No. No. Oh, here we go. Here we go. To the city. That's where we want to go. To the city. And we're going to go back to here. Okay. No. Whoops. That's not what I want to do. Open. We're going to go upstairs. Hey, Coffee. How are you doing? Coffees, I guess. Okay, we change your clothes. And how is it going, Hunter? So we can probably apply water and heat over here. So see if we can go to our inventory, click analyze. We can. Okay, analyze it at the lab table. Okay, so we take some water. Well, let's save first. See if I can exit this. I want to save. I am going to save as message question mark. There. Now we're going to attempt to solve it. I don't want to do something stupid like accidentally. Yeah, I'm still waiting to find the case of the rose tattoo. I haven't found any rose tattoos yet, so case is still so we got distilled water here. Okay. What do we need to do? Let's see if we can. Okay, let's. No, I can't use paper. Okay. Okay. No. Put it in here. Huh. Ah, here we go. Here we go. We can do it like a can't do that. Okay. See if we can. Okay, then we've applied it to water. Okay. Now let's take the Bunsen burner and light it. Now let's put that on the Bunsen burner. Ah, we got a message. All right. All right, we have to go back to his place then. We solved the letter, and now we're gonna have to look at his place. And I wonder how many how many puzzles he has for us. Yep. Gotta go back to his house. Hey, Coffees. Thanks for the follow. How are you? Oh, you've already said you're doing well. And, I'm glad you're doing well. And yes, this is this is a sequel the, um, to the first game. And, it is pretty, detail oriented. I don't know how much of what I do I actually have to do. Like, I'm guessing if I got the letter, solve the thing, we'd be good. I don't know if I would need to, like, have looked at the pen. But here's books. So we're gonna thumb through those and find books in Greek. That's one option. Doesn't give me anything. Okay, we're going to look at the. Oh, look at this. We've got a lot of different. Got a lot of different stuff. The thin yellowish paper appears neither new nor unused, though no writing is immediately clear. So do I have to go back to I think I'm gonna have to do the same thing with this one. All right, back to 221 B Baker Street. Okay. Changing my outfit. Going over to the lab table, and we'll analyze this new note the same way we did our previous one. Okay. Analyze using, oops, analyze lab. Okay. What? What does that mean? The proper vapor? Uh-oh. I think I'm wrong. Crap. Well, hey, the beaker's up. There's a beaker on here now. Hmm. I am going to. Huh. Well, I do not. The biggest problem is I don't know if this was like one of those things that was in the manual, and I don't have the manual for this game, so um, maybe it might have been a clue I got earlier though. See if I can look at the journal or text not found. Oh, here we go. That's price. Okay. Price. How am I supposed to know this? Hmm. Well, let's look at maybe the. Last time it told me what I needed. This time it's not telling me. All right. Well, let's just maybe we'll just try kind of experimenting here. Let's save as message 2. Okay. We'll go in here and we will analyze it and kind of do some experimenting. Hey, Tom, how's it going? These graphics are it's almost like full motion video like style graphics, but they don't use any full motion video in this game. So I'm guessing we're gonna need water for a vapor. Let's put some water in the beaker. And then what else? I think they did a really good job with the graphics in this game. It's one of okay. What if I put this in? Nope, won't let me. Or will it let me? No. What about this? No. What about this? No. What about this? No. Well, this is becoming pretty easy. Nope. Ah. They let me put iodine in. Okay. Alright. I got some iodine in there. Okay. What else have we got here? Let's stir it. Stir it. No, we don't need to do that. Okay, let's use the matches on the burner. If that's good enough. Oh, what is it? Look at that. It's now boiling. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Okay. Wow, that was a long letter. Whew. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, well, what can we do with that information? Um, let's talk to Watson about that. Hmm. Oh, I think I know where it is. I think I know exactly where it is. see what else have we say. Well, I mean, we know based on the Sherlock Holmes books that Sherlock is definitely a he likes I think cocaine. Um, whoops, or something. I don't remember. Here's the might be it. Silverbridge, Lawton, and Pratt are listed. We'll have to find the others by more inventive means. Sherlock likes anything that allows his brain to behave more quickly, I guess. And have I never opened this box before? No. Okay. Huh, I've never actually been in here before. I've never been in the bedroom. The cedar-lined interior is better preserved than the exterior might suggest. The mirror set in the door keeps the resident from committing egregious sartorial blunders. Sartorial blunders. Sartorial blunder. Man, I don't know what that word means. There are words in here that I have never heard. Let's model. There you go. Okay. All right, let's look at that. The oil edition of the Old Soldier at Inkman is derived from Fenton's famous album Photography, Gift from Mycroft. It could stand a clean. Do sconces, books, look. An aggregation of evening reading is stored in the wardrobe. Multiple volumes of Mommsen's Masterful History of Rome are joined by C.F. McClashen's grisly account of the Donner Party, and a particularly inept translation of portions of the brothers Armorall. Okay, portraits. Let's scrutinize. The faces of notorious outlaws reveal little of their monstrous characters. Nothing in the vestiges of Wainwright, Palmer, and Ling mark them as the despicable murderers they were. The first two were justly hanged. Ling, the Haymarket bomber, hoisted himself with a capsule of fulmuric acid. Okay, same thing. Wait, was it the same thing? Yeah. We got a mirror. We got a violin. We can play it. We got a trunk here. What's in case Watson's case now contains an assortment of cosmetics that might impress the stage manager. And my fireplace is on. Music, sheet music. I don't think there's anything in here. Okay. I don't think there's anything in my bedroom that is necessary. Okay. Okay. So I think we gained some. My guess is we gained some locations. Let's see if we can go to. We looked at a directory of people, so we should have new locations. So let's see what happens when we attempt to go to those locations. All right, let's talk to him first before anything. And he. Indeed. Oh, here comes somebody buying a newspaper. All right, well, I want to look at my inventory. I'm going to look at this. Because I want to look at the suspects. Here we go. So let's open a new document. Let's put down suspects. So we've got Lawson or Lawton. We got Silver Bridge. We have Van Shaw. We have Bledsoe. Those are the committee members. So we're gonna put committee. Okay. And we also have two more suspects. The clerks. These are the clerks. We have Thomas. We have Pratt and Edridge. No, it's Whitney. Whitney. And Ratchet. All 7 had sufficient means and opportunity to remove the document from its restricted room. Okay, so we have 7 suspects. Okay. Whoops. I did not mean to look at it again. Alright. So let us go to the city. And we have locations for... We have Lawton, Pratt. So we know where they are. Let's put stars by them. Lawton, Pratt, and who else? Silverbridge. So let's start at the top of the list, and the closest, in fact. Let's go to Lawton's house. We'll take the polite route. Let's save the game and call it Lawton. Let's not make this sound urgent. We're trying to like, hey, we can actually look at stuff. I just realized. Well, let's look at things. Cabinet of this ebony grand. Oh man, Bossendorfer. Glistens. Unlike much of the room, the piano shows evidence of regular polishing. A neat red box sits beside the music stand. Red box. Hey, Ninja Queen. How are you doing? Thank you for the raid. What were you up to on your stream? Hey, everybody from Ninja Queen's stream. I am playing a adventure point-and-click adventure game called The Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes, The Case of the Rose Tattoo. And I actually have finally somewhat discovered the mystery that I am attempting to solve in this game, and it has to do with my brother's, say, attempted murder. Well, hopefully, Hunter, it is a friendly raid. The delicate box is covered in red silk. It is new and unmarked. Such boxes are often used by jewelers. Okay, let's write that down. Red box. Jewelers. Okay. That's a totally valid. The only I don't know of a graphical Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy game actually. The only one that I know of is a completely text-based version. And I don't think a text-based game would be fun to play on stream. That's my opinion. Hit. Ooh, it's dusty. Many of the room's furnishings would benefit from strenuous application of cleaning solvent and or elbow grease. Okay. So dirty. Dirty. It was, yeah, I did not think about it. That's the one, I think that's the one Hitchhiker's thing that I haven't really, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy thing that I haven't really done is the text adventure game. The album is locked. Some scratches are visible around the simple lock. Someone was very careless with the key or tried to force the clasp with another implement. Interesting. Maybe the key they lost the key. I have read the books. I have listened to the radio drama. I have watched the TV um the mini series that was put out by BBC, I believe, and I have watched the movie of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So, um, just look at everything. The music. Two challenging scores rest upright and open on the soloist's music stand. I think I started with the radio series, actually. I think the radio series is where I actually started. Not obviously on the radio, but I got a download of it as an MP3 and listened to it and was like, wow, this is really good. I'll read the books. And I read the books. Um, it probably shaped a lot of what I enjoy reading. And in fact, it probably shaped what I like in these adventure games as well, because I like the humor and stuff like that in the games. The radio drama was really good. Um, okay. What other stuff? Carpets. Let's look at those. Are they also dirty? Age has somewhat dimmed their colors, but a vigorous wash and brush would partially restore their brilliance. I have not played Starship Titanic. Same. Am I gonna get the same thing? Yeah. Okay. If I look at these, dingy portraits depict classic. Oh, is it? I did not know that. Douglas Adams also wrote 2 episodes of Doctor Who. Um, all right. Sounds good, Ninja Queen. I don't think there's any. Can I just open the doors? I just go in? Oh, I can listen. Let's listen. Music and distinctive click of ivory billiard balls are audible. I haven't not played it. Very cool. Very cool. That's something I'll definitely look into. What else can I do? I could open the door. I think that would be silly. Let's talk to Watson. I think I've looked at everything. I think it might actually be on my list of, but if not, I will add it. I have a game called Titanic Adventure Out of Time on my list. I assume that is not the same game. It is not the same game. Okay. Best adventure game of the year, 1998. Oh, yeah, I definitely have to add that to my list. Why is that not on my list? Okay. Consider it added to my list. Here we go. Okay. What do we do? That does sound interesting. I mean, a lot of point and clicks have annoying puzzles in them, so it's just the level of annoying, I guess, that is really the question. Okay, so we have, I think, looked at everything. Save it. Save it again as Lawton 2. Let's see if we can open this door. The door is locked. Let's knock on the door. No answer. Well, can't go up the stairs. We've looked at everything. Let's leave, I guess. Okay, I guess we can give him a card. We know, I think we pretty much know he's lying. Inventory, card, give to Jenkins. All right. See if we can talk to him. But it was a monetary thing. Okay. Guess that's all we can do there. All right, back to the Silverbridge residence. Also with a nice, friendly butler. Okay. What do we do here? I did watch. I watched Sherlock and I watched Elementary. For I think it's first season, maybe first and second season. Thought it was a decent show, but it kind of went downhill a bit. I think did it get canceled? I don't remember. I don't watch a lot of TV. Okay, now we look at things. An oil portrait of a vivacious young female dominates the room. Her lustrous red hair is complemented by a creamy complexion, bright blue eyes, and an unaffected smile. If the artist was taking no liberties, she is a striking woman. I mean, sconces, which were originally served by gas, have been wired and fitted with incandescent electric lights. Okay. A rigid circular band of metal is balanced against the wall. Okay. It's weird. I think I've watched the first. It's hard to tell. The seasons of Sherlock are really difficult for me to kind of wrap my head around because they are like 3 episodes long. An elegant white jade bowl sits. Small quantity of pink lozenges are scattered. Okay. Do I wanna do anything with these? Pick up. I just took a lozenge. Okay. Interesting. They're really mints, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I have read I think the first two Sherlock Holmes books. I think I've read a small tattered, not particularly clean woolen blanket lies crumpled beneath the table. A fragment of its faded bunting is entwined in its lacquered legs. Okay. Interesting. The train. A scale model of a locomotive and coal tender of the famous Flying Scotsman sits on the track. It appears to be constructed entirely of steel. The wheels would make a mess of any floor. A few freight cars are scattered about. These appear to be things that a child would have. So it seems maybe. I mean, especially call it a blankie seems to be a child thing. And I'm not saying that anybody can't play with trains, but just them being combined seems to be. I don't know what this hoop is either. Like, this hoop is kind of weird. It's a rigid circular band of metal balanced against the wall. So a hula hoop, it sounds like. So this seems to be children? Question mark. I'm gonna put that here. All right, let's talk to the butler. Well, geez, he doesn't want to see me either. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. What else? Okay. All right. Thanks, Quester, for being here. Anything else? Nope. All right. Let's talk to the butler again. See if he has anything else to say before we leave. Ah. Okay, we have a name now. Master Virgil. Okay, we have a name. Okay, we're just gonna keep going back and forth between them. Nope, nothing. Nothing. Okay. So the interesting thing is a lot of dialogue options won't open up until I actually know stuff about it, which is slightly annoying. All right, let's go to Pratt's house now. Okay, this is Pratt. All right. Okay, we got what looks like an artist thing. Okay, this is interesting. Here we got some canvases over here. Several oil painted canvases of various styles are stacked. Oh wait, we can talk to her more probably. Um, he's booty, huh? The Devil's Rasp. That's dramatic. Here we got some pillow. Got a pillow, an unusual pillow sits beside two stiff cushions covered in needlepoint embroideries. The pillow's linen fabric has been decorated in the Batik style. The highly stylized geometric design of a Celanese adaptation of a Giovanni's pattern traditionally reserved for royalty. Saddle, that finely crafted caribou skin saddle is inscribed with the insignia of the 2nd Bangalore Pioneers, an Indian Army regiment. Where have I heard that before? The official carabine holster has been modified to accommodate a polo mount. Statuette, let's look at that. Painted plaster statuette of a Renaissance matron stands discordantly beside an amphora of recent manufacture. If the statue signifies his representational taste, the artist's avoidance of that genre must be appreciated, if not applauded. Okay, we got a chair. Looks like there's a little thing on the chair, but we can't. The carved chest covered in costly brocade is emblematic of the room. Unconventional functionality, suspect, and artistically mannered. It is the room of a man waiting to be taken for a bohemian bon vivant. Okay. We got a mobile. That a delicate, dynamic, and charming structure is suspended from the ceiling by wires. Carefully balanced parts are set in motion by air currents. And I like how it's actually somewhat. That's a nice touch. We got a wardrobe. We got an easel. Whoops, nope. We got an easel, which we can look at on a stretched and shaded canvas. The artist has begun a disorganized composition. His subject could be no less clear had he dipped 2 rambunctious snakes in paint and let them have their way with the canvas. Wardrobe. That. Oh, we can move. This crudely fashioned open box, which its cloth curtain closure serves as a closet. Okay. Deal table. Look at that. Paints, pigments, brushes, glues, canvas cutters, and a besplattered blue beret are strewn over the table. Conspicuously absent from the room's only flat surface are personal mementos and writing materials. Flagrant for its incongruity is a long, thin, straight pen. Okay. So there's a pen. That seems maybe relevant. I don't know. This steel pen with an imitation mother of pearl head is of the type used by ladies to affix their bonnets to their coiffures. The blackened tip has been sharpened and may have been held over a flame. That's interesting. The unexpected presence alone makes it interesting. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay, so this is Pratt. We've got a hat pin that was used in flame. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, that was sharpened and used in flame. Okay. There's a dustbin. Let's look at that. A hammered tin wastebasket stationed under the table. Okay. Door. A sturdy door leads to the hall, down the stairs, and into King's Road. Oh, so that would be our exit. Interesting. That's also a door. Looks like it would be our exit. For the building's design, this door can only lead to the fire escape. The door is fitted with a deadbolt lock, which is in the locked position. I think that's it. Okay. Let's see if we can talk to her anymore. Nope. Talk to Watson. Okay. Archway, which leads from the studio to the loft's other room, is covered with strings of amber beads. That's most peculiar and outlandish arrangement. Hey, Ninja Queen. That's nice of you, I guess. Wax English tradition. Okay, we'll put that. Alright, Ninja Queen. Alright, so... is there anything else we can do here? It won't let us go in. I guess we'll just leave. Okay, I feel like there's more to do here. Because I heard him playing billiards. So, unlike the other two where they clearly weren't there, I believe that someone was here. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna go back here. Accepting the powder on his trousers and the blue stain between the left thumb and... Oh, he was playing pool. Oh, that's it? That's all I had to do? Was look at him? Ugh, man, the whole looking at people and stuff thing gets me. Okay. Do I have to exit again to, like, get him to... Okay. Alright. Wait, is that the same voice? Okay. Viscount of Kilgarran, Scone and sole direct descendant of the Anglo-Irish nobility, is a liberal member of the House of Commons. The scandal rags report that a series of fiscal misadventures and gambling indiscretions have reduced him to want. Despite his stature, he has a small reputation as a ladies' man. Oh, you can't hear the voices? Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I had the audio muted. I just realized. Dang. Well, you missed out a lot of voices. So, This game has been somewhat of a disaster for me as far as it crashing and things like that. And me just missing things. So let's save as, this is Lawton 3. We actually were able to get into him. So now we have some music. Yay, go us. Thank you for pointing that out, Hunter. I appreciate it. Yeah, this game has voice acting. I guess I've been reading a lot of this stuff, but it does have voice acting. Okay, what do we want to do here? Okay, let's just look at things. The subject's resemblance to the other male portraits in the house marked its worthiness as a Lawton. However, his informal clothes, laughing eyes, and twisted lip give the impression of a country outlaw. He may have been both. Look, take out? Built-in bookcases surround the fireplace. The library appears to be a conventional collection of classics from the history of Western civilization. All volumes appear to have been printed by the same publisher. Let's touch. The books are papier-mâché models of same cleverly positioned for verisimilitude. What became of the real books that stood here? Lord Lawson cares about books, but not so much that he needs to keep them. Okay. Wait, let me read that again. But not so much that he needs to keep the real article. Okay. Hey, Ninja Queen! Thank you for the 50 bits. I appreciate it. And thank you for using that subway cheer. More than immediate. Oh, okay, interesting. All right. Let's talk to him some more. I'm sure I have some more info.
At my brother's request, I'm looking into the disappearance of the formula from the ministry.
And as a courtesy to your brother, I interrupt my leisure to receive you, but you abuse civility. The committee eventually judged that so-called disappearance to be unworthy of our attention. Evidently not dissuaded by our good sense, you come here to waste my time.
I could understand it. After investigation and due deliberation, you had concluded that nothing untoward had occurred. But such was not the case. Why was the inquiry so precipitously and inconclusively terminated?
I won't be cross-questioned by you, Mr. Holmes, on this or any other subject.
Are you aware that Mycroft has been injured in an explosion?
I'm sorry, but that's hardly my affair.
I think an attempt was made on his life. The blast was related to the disappearance of the formula.
It's the nature of your business to think so, isn't it? Conspiracy theories are mother's milk to the consulting detective.
Yeah, I had forgotten to mute the game, or unmute the game. So, I mean, the voices are... I have closed captioning turned on, so that you can see the voices, or see the text.
Are you purposely offensive or merely obdurate?
It is not my intention to be either. But if I am, it does not concern me. You have no position, no standing, and no authority.
Wow, he's being rude. He is being rude. They're all rude. Why is he so rude? He's also rude. Very rude. Dirty, financial troubles. So he's got financial troubles. Let's see, he's got false books. Maybe sold them. Okay. He just doesn't want to, he doesn't seem to want to talk to me.
Do you recall that gouty old fellow from Hampshire, Watson? Kept gerbils?
I do, Holmes. His affliction was so advanced, we swore he could chalk his billiard cue with his knuckles.
Very economical, I suppose.
Yeah, usually when there are voices, or there aren't voices in games, I will do the voices, or try my best to do voices of characters. But I'm not...
We know Lawton doesn't want to talk. We don't know why.
An accurate, though not particularly helpful observation.
Has the subject closed his mouth? He may be more forthcoming on less volatile topics.
Besides which fork to use with the fish course?
A touch, Watson. A distinct touch, for all his information may be worth.
Can we talk to him anymore? I always go back and forth. No, he doesn't want to talk. Let's leave. He looks like he might be drunk. Let's talk to him. Can we talk to him at all? Wait.
Jenkins, I need...
If I disturb him without cause, Mr. Holmes, he won't come out, you won't get in, and I'll be sacked. He's in that foul a mood since the last time.
Okay. So I can't see him again. Okay. Alright. So we've gotten new information about everybody. So Lawton has a jeweler's box, which is interesting. Or the game pointed out it being interesting. He has a dirty house and financial troubles. All right, Hunter. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. He has false books, so he probably sold them, probably for money. And he's also extremely rude, and he doesn't want to talk to me for some reason. The Silverbridge residence, there's a child, it sounds like, one child, named Virgil, and it seemed to have struck a nerve with the butler. So maybe the butler is unhappy with the child's situation. Maybe, okay. And the Pratt residence, there was a hat pin that was sharpened and used in a flame, which is interesting. I don't know why. Maybe to, you can sterilize a pin, so it could have, been for sterilization. The person was born in India and lacks lacks the knowledge of English tradition, is what I got. Okay, so we went to these 3 places. Let's see. I think we can do anything there. We'll go back to the hospital.
As a courtesy, matron, I inform you that we are going inside.
Given your reprehensible behavior, Mr. Holmes, I don't think so.
Were I to inform the director that you left a patient untended for hours and exposed him to a contagious virus, she is sure to take a very dim view of your performance. You have been negligent, matron, and you have violated your own precious hospital policy.
The patient required no special treatment. He was admitted with a minor head injury.
That's as may be. But his fall resulted from his sickness. He is critically ill with a respiratory ailment. Exposure to flu could kill him. Shall we keep your oversight among ourselves?
Yes.
Please be more careful in future.
All right. So basically, now I'm saying you violated hospital policy, and therefore, hey, this guy's gone. Where'd he go? Can I talk to her and ask?
Can you repeat what my...
I'm no eavesdropper.
Wait, no, I didn't want that. I wanted this one.
Sister, what has become of the gentleman in white?
The poor dear is singing in the choir invisible, Mr. Holmes. Popped off without a word, he did.
Oh, he died? if I were to guess, it probably took more work to do this than to just animate it, would be my guess. But I don't know. It depends on how they were doing it. I know that in a lot of games they used roboscoping, I think it was called, where they would basically take a full motion video of somebody doing a motion, and then they would essentially draw over that image to create the animation, so that the animation would look like an actual person doing something. I don't think they did that here. I think they were actually able to get the video into the game. I think technology had progressed to that point.
Mycroft, what about Professor Dewar?
Why did Cain kill his brother?
Yes, I know he's Professor Abel's colleague. I meant, where is Dewar now? Is he in danger?
No, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Where was the boy? The man who made it did not want it. The man who bought it did not use it. The man who used it did not know it. What's it? The 9th prime.
Enough of riddles, Mycroft. Speak plainly.
So very difficult to find really decent fish and chips. Buffalo chips are used for fuel in the American West. West of Chelsea, all mothers.
I apologize, brother. I was frustrated. I've got the pieces now.
Do?
He has a remarkable mind, Watson. I know where Dewar is.
Well, if you tell me, we'll both know.
In the child's rhyme, the boy lived in the lane. The answer to the riddle is certainly a coffin, and the 9th prime is 19. Dewar's at 19 Coffin Lane. That's over the river at Bermondsey. We can go if you're ready.
Seriously? Oh wow, I'm glad I didn't have to figure that out. Because I would not have figured that out. I got the 9th prime. The 9th prime, I didn't know what it was, but I could have easily figured it out. By looking it up. Or probably even thinking about it. Okay, so we have a new location. There it is. See, what do we got here? We have a lab. Very much different than our lab. I mean, it's just bigger. Just look at things. This deep granite basin is a sink for all seasons. As the room's sole source of water, the professor presumably rinses his equipment, draws off tea water, shaves, and cleans his teeth here. Chemicals. Let's look at those. A huge sampling of chemicals and reagents are stacked on the lab table and exactingly labeled. The collection is worthy of a professional laboratory. Well, we got a sink, a large microscope. That an exquisite compound microscope with 10 times magnification is the most valuable piece of equipment in the laboratory. Lab journal. Let's look at that. This notebook contains a dated log and experimental formulae. The journal, presumably one of the many details the last few days of the scientist's work. Some pages are smudged and smelly from their exposure to his own work. Got a waste bottle. This carboy once contained muriatic acid. A more recent label suggests that it holds organic wastes. The cap is not tightly sealed so that gas pressure is dissipated. The stench is corrosive and cannot possibly be healthy. A stove. Let's look at it. The pot-bellied stove is obviously unequal to the task of heating the carnivorous laboratory. I recognize the ninth prime, but I didn't recognize the coffin part. So, touch. The stove is no warmer than the room. A penguin might find it a desirable nest spot. So you're saying the room is cold. A slightly alarming collection of flask, tubes, retorts, pipettes, and carboys are littered about the workspace here. Various chemical concoctions are on the boil, others dripping noiselessly. Some merely generate smoke and rank fumes. Okay. Alright. We can open the stove. Ooh. The furnace is free of cinders and soot. A folded sheet of cream-laid paper rests just inside the ash lip.
Do you recognize this document, Professor? It was in the stove.
No. Deuced strange storage place, but it's safer than most. I never light a fire. Mycroft must have put it there. Put it back, won't you?
Mycroft put it there. Okay. Wax seals were never truly secure instruments, and today they are little more than vestiges of traditional practice. Complex chemical notations and mathematical formula are printed over the entire page. The contents could only be explained, understood, or verified by an expert.
That won't do, Mr. Holmes. Put it back, please. It'll save me a lot of work.
Okay. I guess he wants me to close it. What is it? Is it like... Okay. Professor Dior's unshoveled appearance masks a first-class brain from superficial observation. All of the chemist's research is closely followed by a select group of senior policy wallahs, the Foreign Office. And let's talk to him.
Professor Dior, I am Sherlock Holmes. Mycroft is my brother.
I perceive a resemblance. What do you want?
Dr. Watson and I hope that you might help us with an inquiry.
I've heard of you, sir. We can talk while I work. I'm in the middle of something rather delicate, so you might choose your spot carefully.
That means I should probably save. This is not a Sierra game, so I do not think I will die, but... Okay. He is not a suspect. He's the one that made the formula, right?
Is that a copy of your formula, Professor? It appears to have your mark on it.
If it does, it's mine.
Do you recognize that penetrating mix of pungent odors, Watson?
Rotten eggs, manure, and household cleaner, I should think. Disgusting.
Descriptively apt, but highly unscientific, Doctor. Ammonium sulfate and certain nitrates are nearer the mark.
Perhaps, but my advice is take shallow breaths or you'll pass out.
That's valid. Let's talk to him again.
Mycroft has been injured in an explosion, Professor.
Nothing to do with my work, is it?
His club blew up. The police claim it was an accident, but we believe a bomb was purposefully set, that Mycroft was the target, and that the act was related to the theft of your formula.
Your hypothesis is based on sound data?
It is. And had he been as concerned for his own safety as he was for yours, we might not be speaking. Can the cause of an explosion be easily determined from its consequences?
Rarely. But with application and the proper research tools, one can often discover the cause from the type of fire, the nature of the physical damage, and the organic consequences.
Dr. Watson discovered some fulminate of mercury, but we exhausted the supply in our experiments.
If the explosion was initiated by a bomb, there is likely to be more evidence of the fact, a timing or detonation device, chemical burns, or some such.
Okay. Well, we found the clock, which is probably the delivery method.
Have you recently received any unwanted visitors?
None but yourselves. I'm accustomed to working without interruption.
Does your family know where you are?
I'm a bachelor, Mr. Holmes. My whereabouts are my own affair.
How do you come to be here?
Your brother insisted, said the new formula had gone missing and that he wanted me out of the way until it was recovered. Most pleased to find this place decently equipped with research apparatus.
Where is Professor Abel?
He's lecturing in America, preaching to the converted or laying pearls before swine, depending on your prejudices. His family's with him.
Professor, what is the subject of your formula?
While Abel and I were working with the ballistite, that's Nobel's latest, we refined an extraordinarily powerful explosive. It's more versatile and less volatile than nitroglycerine. The strategic implications were obvious.
So you registered the components in compliance with the Foreign Office's Byzantine requirements?
I've made some further modifications that will affect bomb design and detonation velocity, but by and large the formula stands as written.
Okay.
Could you replicate the formula from memory?
Though with great difficulty, perhaps. The formula describes a complex and unique mixture of chemical compounds.
Presumably, the acquisition and manufacture of such materials would exceed the means and expertise of all but a handful of state agencies.
I take your point. No one could build a bomb in the basement with it. Mycroft wasn't felled by my work.
Do you have a copy of the formula?
Oh, Mycroft said something about keeping a copy, but I'm afraid I couldn't lay my hands on it at the moment.
I think that's a copy.
Professor, could you analyze this spring? I have reason to believe that...
Enough, Mr. Holmes. I see what it is. You suspect it has material importance to the detonation of your bomb. Don't bias the inquiry further. I must form my own conclusions.
Excellent. Very sound practice.
How can I reach you?
Send a note to 221B Baker Street when you have the results.
Okay, can I talk to him anymore?
No offense, Professor, but I've rarely whiffed such a rank odor.
No offence taken. One man's perfume is another's off. The smells do have their uses. I believe the neighbours think I'm experimenting with new mixtures of fertiliser.
Contrary to the old saw, ignorance is never bliss, but it may serve a purpose.
Keeping people out? That's it. Watson.
Suggestions, Doctor?
I'm afraid I have none, Holmes. My brain may be frozen. I doubt Sir John Franklin was ever colder than I am. In any case, the objectives of this investigation are becoming more obscure as we proceed.
So, we know he created an explosion formula. A formula for an explosive. The formula was stolen. It's not easily duplicated, except by except by expensive means. So it's not something somebody can make in their basement. They would need access to probably a very heavy lab or something like that. How do I get out of here? Two City. Okay. I think we're done here. Alright. See if anything happens at our location. talk to him. See if anything. See if we got anything.
Everything all right with you, Jonas? Can't complain, Mr. Holmes. And if I did, who would listen? Too true. There's so little kindness in the world.
Let's go inside. This is a little bit of writing on this wall. Ooh, knock on the door.
Come in, Mrs. Hudson. It's from the yard, Watson. Listen. A body pulled from the Thames at the Needle is not the usual type. Conventional identification impossible. Ticket stubs from the Whitehall line suggest a civil servant. As you aren't currently engaged, you might find it diverting. I would welcome your assistance. Respectfully, G. Lestrade.
Very civil of him. He wants your help.
Well, we won't throw it away. Keep it for a rainy day, but I have other fish to fry.
Okay. So I have a telegram from Lestrade about a new case. A murder. Well, not necessarily a murder. It may not be a murder. Let's talk to Watson.
Silverbridge, Pratt, and Lord Lawton are listed in Kelly's. We'll have to find the others by more inventive means.
Did Mycroft hold specific suspicions of any one of the 7, do you suppose?
Hard to say, but conspiracy implies multiple suspects.
Valid. That's very true.
Mycroft's list of the potential crimes missed it by 1.
Yes, I see. He didn't consider someone might try to kill him. Given his other suspicions, the committee members are obvious candidates.
Neglect of the obvious must always be an error, Doctor. While I doubt their direct involvement, the crimes are certainly related. They may feed off one another.
We have a 3-headed investigation. Who stole the formula and why? Who terminated the investigation and why? And who tried to kill Mycroft?
For the moment, I won't displace my attempt to find Mycroft's assailant with the other matters.
Let me ask that question again because I want to write that down. That was good. Good. Well, I can look in the journal.
That a corpse has eclipsed the imagination of Scotland Yard is hardly remarkable.
Have you deduced the cause of death? Was it murder, misadventure, or natural causes?
Suicide, I shouldn't wonder. The body is obviously unrecognizable, perhaps from being submerged for a time.
Might we solve the mystery for him?
Lestrade evidently thinks so. On the other hand, he may simply be trying to occupy me. His idea of kindness.
A kind thought must count for something.
You have a more generous disposition than I, Watson. What does your intuition tell you about our next move?
Nothing. But cold reason suggests we should investigate Lestrade's nameless corpse.
What makes you say so?
Prudence. Lestrade is holding out an olive branch. Take it. He wants no animosity between you. Besides, he could compromise the confidentiality of our inquiries were he to get wind of them. He will be less interested in what you are doing if he thinks you are occupied on his behalf.
Your reasoning is sound, Watson, but I don't think I'm available to its inducements.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the journal. I want to write that down. What he said about the 3 questions. I think that's a good thing to write down. Yes, Lestrade is our friend. He's asking for help, and we should help him. Okay. Who stole the formula? Who stole the formula and why? Okay. Who wants to terminate the investigation and why? And who tried to kill Mycroft? And do we want to put NY? It doesn't say that there, but NY. I mean, I think we know because he was kind of save this. Have a space for notes right here. All my game notes. This is Sherlock 2. Okay. All right. So let's go to Scotland Yard, I guess. That seems like the best place to go. And we will go there.
Let us resume our investigation, Watson.
I'm prepared to follow you anywhere, Holmes.
Whole change of clothes before we leave thing is weird. Alright, let's go. Well, let's see if he knows anything. Does he know anything about it? Talk to him. Well, we have new info. Maybe there's something in the paper about it. Nope. Alright, leave. Alright, let's go to... What the heck is this? Cleopatra's knee. Oh, that's where the body was found. You want to go there? Or do you want... We probably want to talk to Lestrade first if he's at the... Here. Let's talk to him. Talk to everybody.
Oggy, heard anything that might interest me?
Nothing, Mr. Holmes. You know I'd try to flog it if I did.
What do you know about the corpse just pulled from the Thames?
Oh, about £half worth?
At that depressed price, I'll assume against all odds that your information is worth even less than usual.
Well, here's a free sample. The Yard thinks it's a strong-arm robbery gone wrong. Victim's watch and wallet are missing. The inquest is scheduled Thursday next.
As I suspected, such information is nearly worthless.
Let's talk to him.
The Yard seems quite deserted. What's the reason?
Lawful folk are at home, and the criminal classes see I'm on duty. I'm always on duty. Haven't had a tea break in donkey's years.
Which is more bother, Lestrade being in or being out?
It's a fair question. Seems I'm the only one round here working all hours. Go in if you like.
Okay. So we can probably talk to Lestrade now.
I need details of the corpse you hauled from the Thames, Lestrade.
Middle-aged, on the thin side of average, shot in the head, cavernous hole, dead before he hit the water.
The crime was witnessed?
No, a riverman may have heard the shots. He found the body by the needle. He'll collect £half for the corpse. Claims to know nothing about how it got there.
You believe him?
These river chaps are a dodgy lot. You'll volunteer anything that turns a profit and nothing that won't. But I don't think he did the murder.
Where can I find this worthy?
The body's at Bart's, not a pretty sight. His face is gone. Can't even tell what colour his eyes were. The rest of them's all right. Hadn't been in the water long.
I was referring to the riverman.
Ah! Needham's his name. Constable on the scene took all the particulars. He's at the Needle. You remember P.C. Roach?
I've been trying to forget him for years. Still adrift in a sea of paperwork, Lestrade.
I'm drowning, Mr. Holmes. Going down for the third time.
Any more information about the corpse from the embankment?
Nothing you don't know about. It looks like a random robbery and murder. Much obliged to you for looking into it.
Ah, he thanked me. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, so this is helping. Okay. Now where can I go? So the body, is it Bart? Is that the hospital? I mean the morgue's the hospital, right? So let's go to the hospital. She's just gonna give me. I think I get the. Oh, here's another body. Okay, well let's talk to him. Wait, what?
Doctor, did your examination reveal anything else of interest?
Well, his lungs were in deplorable shape. Tobacco, I should think. Alcohol had begun to ravage his liver and kidneys.
Something's not
I
right
would
here.
characterize his general condition as dilapidated.
I feel like these are old dialogue options.
I'd like to examine Sir Hubert.
He's in number 2, Mr. Holmes.
Huh.
Lestrade's missive suggests a problem of identification. Is it real or apparent?
Very real. Extremely difficult case from his point of view.
What can you tell me about this victim's cause of death?
The formal cause was a massive cerebral hemorrhage. The efficient cause were bullets of a large caliber fired from point-blank range.
Drowning and suicide can be dismissed then. I've been experimenting with ballistics. You have the bullets?
Useless fragments. I disposed of them. The large pieces must have passed through the cavernous exit wound.
One bullet would certainly have done the job, Doctor. Thoughts?
The killer was a vicious psychopath.
Likely, but incomplete, I think.
If you say so. My interests are with the victim. Yours reside in the murderer. I prefer my work.
Could I see the victim's effects?
You know where I keep them, and it's only the clothes. He came in without shoes, and his pockets were empty.
Indeed. Most peculiar. Most interesting. Might I examine the body?
I know your methods, Mr. Holmes. Observation is your watchword.
Its corollary is that without knowledge, observation and deductions are worth nothing. Currently, I have very little knowledge. I hope to amend the deficiency.
The rose red attached to this thorn. The rose tattoo! I found it! I found it now. This is the case of the rose tattoo. A red rose attached to his thorny stem is skillfully engraved on the victim's buttocks. Alright, let's do that again. It's carefully engraved on the victim's buttocks. Wait. All right. We have a rose tattoo on the butt. The corpse lays prone on the table, indicating the doctor has completed a conventional autopsy on the victim, the Sierra. The victim's face has been obliterated, replaced by a raw, gaping wound. Only a portion of his clean-shaven mouth and chin remains whole. Ugh. Okay. Rose tattoo on the butt. Okay. I guess we'll smell the body. The stench of the polluted Thames and the smell of cordite make it impossible to detect whether the victim wore a discernible cologne or smoked a particular cigar. Okay. Open the cabinet. Okay. Go. Clothes. Look at the clothes. Mycroft's suit-stained waistcoat and his jacket and trousers were shredded. Okay. Is that it? See clothes. Oh, hat. That's a hat. Man, that is hard to see. A soft, low-crowned hat, size 8, made from fine gray felt, is from De Gout's la Mode of Johannesburg. Aside from some dust on the brim, it appears nearly new. Okay, can we pick it up? Yeah.
I'll sign for the hat, Doctor. I'd like to take it with me.
Okay. Look, why? Look at that. Soft, low-crowned hat. Here's new. Alright, I don't know why we're taking the hat, but we are. Okay, let's talk to Watson.
Observations, Doctor.
Undernourished, reasonably well-formed, white male, age between 30 and 40. No obvious physical abnormalities. Nicely shaped hands, showing no recent history of manual labour.
A description that might fit 200,000 men in Greater London.
You would add?
He was right-handed, an occasional painter, oils I think, suffered from dandruff and smoked heavily.
I see the ink on his index finger and paint under his nails. The dandruff is obvious, but I see no nicotine stains on his fingers.
Nor do I. Note the discoloration around what remains of his upper lip. That is not a powder burn. I assume he used a holder, or perhaps he smoked a pipe.
Could this be Pratt? Could this be Pratt? He was he had a bunch of paintings in his house and looked like he painted. So that's interesting.
Why do you think the killer used 2 bullets, Watson?
An accident or fluke. There may be no cogent reason whatsoever.
Nonsense. It was intentional. He wished to complicate identification of the victim, but the killer also told us about himself. He wanted to punish as he killed. Why, I wonder?
That's grotesque, Holmes. Perhaps incompetence was the reason, or panic. You always suspect the worst of people.
It is a matter of no small regret, Watson, that many of my low, mean-spirited suspicions turn out to be well-founded.
The first game was good. It led me astray multiple times. I mean, it really did. It was like, oh, well, I think this person did it. Nope, they didn't. I think this person did it. Nope, they didn't. I think I had 3. It took me the third or fourth person in that game before I actually knew who did it.
A highly unusual, if not unique design. Comments, Doctor?
I will defer to your judgment, Holmes. I can't recall seeing anything like it in your monograph on tattoos and scarification.
I have some thoughts, but they can wait.
But they can wait. Okay.
Now, what do you make of the hat?
An extravagance, given his other clothing. Perhaps it reflects his ambition.
Interesting speculation, Doctor, but wrong. The hat does not belong to the victim. I believe it belongs to the man who killed him.
You will clarify that convoluted hypothesis at some later time, I hope.
Okay, anything else I can do in here? I don't think so. Can I talk to him? Let's find out.
Dr. McCabe, please inform me if your examinations divulge anything of further interest.
I will indeed, Mr. Holmes, and vice versa, please.
You may depend upon it.
I also noticed a... Yes, I agree. They did a really good job in the last game of throwing me off the trail, putting suspects in that ultimately didn't do it, and just kind of making it a good mystery. And this one seems to be kind of along the same lines.
Have you ever seen a tattoo like this one, Doctor?
Never. Not the usual subject matter. Anchors, lions, dragons, and such.
Indeed. A delicate Tudor rose, the emblem of England. A unique design, colours and placement, overall quite remarkable. He wears the rose of youth upon him, the bard says.
I've always been partial to Antony and Cleopatra.
Has anybody come to view this victim? Or any of your cases?
No recent visitors, Mr. Holmes. Not many seem to have your interest in the subject.
Okay, nothing. From you.
Anything of significance, Watson?
Lestrade must have been desperate to call. How are even you to identify the unidentifiable?
My vanity believes he considers me to be the highest court of appeal in detection, but more likely I am his last resort.
Yeah, I kind of have a hard time believing that these cases aren't somehow intertwined with each other, but I guess we'll find out. Okay. Wait, where did Mycroft go? Where did he go? Mycroft is gone!
What's happened here? Where is my brother, sister?
Doctor says he requires complete quiet. Matron has moved him to a private room. I had to report her intrusion, you see. She was displeased. He'll receive no more visitors here, Mr. Holmes. Matron has decreed it.
Well, I guess that kind of eliminates him as an option. From an adventure game standpoint, that's probably a good thing that he's no longer an option. Something I can talk to, but I'm gonna go here now. Oh man, this looks weird. This is a weird angle and just weird. This looks way more animated than motion capture.
Constable, it's Sherlock Holmes. I'd like to survey the scene. There's a murder inquiry hereabouts. You know Inspector Lestrade don't tolerate intruders at our investigations.
PC Roach is an unimaginative, obsessed with trivial coincidence, and not beyond bullying under the color of authority. He is furthermore an overly ambitious blowhard and dimwit. Okay, well, what do you really think?
You can read, can't you, Roach? Lestrade has requested my assistance. No need to be snide, Mr. Holmes. I'm just following orders. Following orders, the last refuge of the immoral and the inept. What's that?
Nearly 70 feet high and red granite, this red granite obelisk was erected in Heliopolis by Thutmose III in 1475 BC. In the decades since it came to London, its intriguing hieroglyph inscriptions have suffered corrosive damage from pollution. What are we looking at?
Ismail Pasha's gift looks hauntingly mysterious in this light.
And you can't see the damage wreaked by coal dust and the climate. A decade in England has mutilated the obelisk more than 3 millennia in Egypt. It's sickening.
The dolt called me an intruder. Can you credit it?
He's either ignorant or intentionally insulting.
A little of both. The moronic and the abusive are evenly matched in his character.
Alright. Back to talking to him.
Your predilections notwithstanding, I will examine the scene, Constable. I don't like interference, Mr. Holmes. I'll be keeping an eye on you. Might try to make me look bad. That wouldn't be difficult, but I have better things to do.
Oh my god. Okay. In the murky light, the polished granite stairs glisten with a patina of moisture from the polluted fog. In places there is a suggestion of something other than coal dust. A suggestion of something other than coal dust. Okay. Well, let's see what is that other thing. Even in uncertain light, a distinctive sheen is visible. A splattering appears against the right wall, and a viscous splodges on the 6th and 7th and 12th steps. Okay. The 6th. Odd stains. Even in uncertain light, a visible sheen. The clumsy test would decisively identify it as blood. A splattering appears against the right wall, and a viscous lodges on the 4th and 9th steps. Okay. A stiff hickory pole is attached by a clip to the wall. The business end of the pole is an iron hook. In skillful hands, it could be used to catch a landing line or even snatch a child from the river. Okay. Bankment. Completed in 1870, the Victoria Embankment extends from the House of Parliament to the city. It is made of solid granite and holds back the wildly fluctuating tides from the Thames left bank. Okay. Can I get a sample of the blood? Not that it would really help. Not at this time period. It's probably just the victim, though.
I'm sure Lestrade would be stupefied if you've discovered anything of interest. I applied my eagle eye to the area. There's nothing here. Better light might reveal more, and the skills of the investigator are not unimportant. Precisely why I'm on the case. Best men for the job. I know a crime when I see it. Very sly. But I doubt your vigilance will be rewarded. Who's to say? I'll be pushing off soon for my tea. What can you tell me about the crime, Constable? Why Lestrade needs you is beyond me. Seems like you're always begging information from us. As you haven't solved the case, perhaps you might humor the inspector and simply answer the question? The victim was shot at close range by an unknown assailant. Probably happened nearby and recently. The body ended up in the river. A wherryman fished it out. That's it. Where might I find the wherryman? Body's name is Needham. Jesse Needham. Lives off the Aldgate High Street. 6 Half Moon Passage. If you're planning a visit, consider a firearm. The inspector always takes a pistol east of Bishopsgate.
What? What are you talking about? Don't I have my, lantern? I have my lantern. Can I use that? No effect. Okay. Well, now I'm calling them blood stains. They were odd stains, and now they're blood stains. Okay, I guess that doesn't work. Well, let's talk to Watson. See if he has anything to add.
Let's be off, Watson. I didn't really want to be here anyway.
We came here for good reasons, Holmes. Official rudeness or incompetence does not diminish their validity.
Oh, wait, this works.
An unsupervised pass with the bullseye would prove more enlightening.
An unsupervised. Okay. So we have to wait for him to come back. Okay. Or for him to leave. He's about to leave. So we can probably just, if I were to guess, we can probably leave and come back and he'll be gone. Okay. Come back. Is he gone? No, he's still there. Bah! Okay, we have to go back and use the light on the thing. Okay, I better write that down. Okay, my thing. Come back to needle and light stairs. Alright. Alright, one more thing. We're gonna go... So next we need to go to the... I guess we got a location for his house. Oh, it's right here. Let's go here. This is the guy who apparently discovered the thing. So let's talk to him. Well, let's look at him. Well, we want to look at him first. His hook nose and ruffled head are reminiscent of Dickens' fictional bird of prey. This raptor is real. His dark hooded eyes roam the small circuit of his cage. They rest momentarily on a spot near his squalid cot, then dart again. Okay. Talk to him. Wait. Yeah, let's talk to him.
Tell me about the corpse you pulled from the river, won't you?
I told the old Bill what I knowed. I was sculling near the Whitehall steps when I heard pistol shots. A little later, I comes across a fresh stiff floating face down. I put one and one together, hauled him up from the Needle, and waited for a copper.
These steps are a good bit west of the Needle, and the tide was running out to sea. You were lucky to catch up with the body.
If you've seen the body, you got an odd notion of luck. The police were satisfied.
Have you done army service, Needham?
I wouldn't say no to the Queen's shilling, but I never fancied work on land.
The Navy, then? You were a sailor?
Never. Bunch of ponces in uniform, couldn't navigate a drainage ditch. Seen them struggle in the Deptford Reach, just running with the tide.
What do we have in here? Ugh. Shoot. Pair of serviceable black leather shoes, not recently polished and in need of a resoling, dries by the fire. The shoes are not particularly good quality. They are as incongruous as here is a pair of pink silk ballet slippers. Okay. Oars. A stained and splintered oars of Needham's Weary are precious companions of his life, nearly old enough to have propelled a Roman galley across the channel. They are the means by which he elks out his living. Walls. Irregularly sized windows are randomly inserted in the smoke-stained plaster walls. Those windows that have not been covered with tar paper are dirty and admit little light. Can I open it?
What do you think you're doing, mate?
Alright, let's talk to him.
Tell me why you took the corpse's shoes. They're obviously too small for you.
Things from the river are like gifts, and a poor man can't afford an exact fit. As he'd lost the need for 'em, I'd figured to lighten his load as he passed over.
Very kind of you, I'm sure. I wonder if they exhaust the items you relieved him of. Forget the fable you told the police. I think you witnessed a crime on the embankment.
I saw naught.
Nonsense. You were close by. With no experience of small arms, you identified pistol shots. Whitehall is too distant to hear distinctly, even over water, and from there you'd never catch up to a body moving on the tide.
That's just talk. You know what they say, talk is cheap.
It depends on the subject and the speaker. The police might find my argument pure gold.
Tin more like, or I don't know, PC Roach and Inspector Lestrade.
You have a point.
You have a point.
Strangely, the corpse you found had no personal effects. Perhaps some of them found their way here.
You'll never know. Got no rights to snoop. Man's home's his castle.
If you'd prefer, I can bring back a warrant and a load of policemen.
No need for that. I'm guilty of nothing. I didn't shoot the bloke. I kept him from going to sea.
And took a souvenir from the body, Mr. Needham? A remembrance of your good deed?
Go ahead. See what you can find. Nothing worth sixpence, or I'm related to the Queen.
Okay. Alright. We now have the ability to open this chest, I think. The serpent of affecting objects are stored in here. Are stored in the glory hole. A child sweater, a wooden doll, and a piece of lace share space with dilapidated umbrellas, a horsehair brush, and an old stovepipe hat. Yeah, it does say that. It does indeed say that. An antiquated seaman's chest sits in the front, blah, blah, blah. Okay. A rummage. A sodden blue cravat lies crumpled in the corner
You
of the
mess
chest.
about with the quality's possessions. Poor man's got no rights.
I'm agog at the items you rescued from the river. True objet trouvé.
University graduates who wish to advertise their college affiliation wear such ties. This one bears the Cambridge University crest and the Magdalen College coat of arms. Can I take it?
It's soaked through, Holmes. No good for use or ornament, and it will drench your pockets.
I suppose I can live without it.
Interesting.
That tie belongs to the victim. What else of his personal property did you steal? A wallet, perhaps?
What's he care about a useless garment or anything from this world? He's left it. You can't steal from a dead man. No use for money. Can't spend it. Wouldn't miss it.
Were you a barrister in a previous life, or a philosopher? Maybe you learned that litany from Gaffer Hexam. Don't split hairs with me. Produce what you lifted, or face incarceration.
Search the place. Toss it. Do your worst. You'll find naught else.
When did you lose your family, Needham?
My missus and daughter died by cholera. I've been alone these 20 years.
I'm sorry. A solitary life is hard. What were you doing on the river, Mr. Needham?
Trying to earn me brass. Man's got to work day and night just to live in these hard times.
I would have expected a hidey hole somewhere, but I don't spy one.
A place to conceal small objects, as might come from corpses?
Got it in one.
The room is so vulnerable and insecure. He may fear leaving anything valuable behind, even hidden away.
Keep going back and forth.
You are a thief, Needham. British justice takes a dim view of robbing the dead.
Get stuffed. I found them items.
If you compel me, I'll have you stripped and searched.
Easy now. There was little enough. A watch and chain, half a crown and 3 pennies.
Unless you'd prefer a cell at Pentonville, it had better be. What you took is of less interest to me than what you know. I mean you no harm, but I intend to know all that you know about this crime.
How do I know you'll play straight with me?
You have my word.
A sign of good faith would be more convincing.
Oh, give. An imitation gold-plated watch was not proof against the water. There was condensation beneath the crystal. Judging by the condition of the last link of the chain, and ornamental fob was forcibly separated from it recently. So, okay, I think I can assign
Keep
a
the things you found, Needham. I can't approve your action, but I won't condemn it either.
That's friendly, I think. Ta.
I'd like you to return with us to the embankment. Will you do that?
I've given up everything I have.
I think not. I want to hear exactly what you witnessed, at the Needle, in situ.
Maybe I'll do better with the coppers.
You may think so. I couldn't comment. I promise to be fair.
If there's no other way, I'll go. You're a gentleman until you prove yourself otherwise. We can take my worry.
Okay. Alright, we're back. We got some fake fog right now. Alright. I'm gonna call it a night.